Good morning and good evening and good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Brenda Gustin, and I'm calling in from Northern California. I'm a co-lead for the Women and Girls sector of the Charter for Compassion. And I have the honor and privilege to be here on the call with Anu Agarwal from Mumbai, India. And she is the founder of the Anu Agarwal Foundation and author and Bollywood actress and truly a leader for women and girls, including men and boys in India, and was one of the founders of the World Yoga Day in 2014, and just many, many other things that we're going to hear about on this call with Anu. And before we go on, I just want to make this statement on behalf of the Charter for Compassion and the Women and Girls sector. Pleased to welcome you to this call, which is honoring International Yoga Day, which is this Friday, June 21st. The Charter for Compassion is a declaration that is affirmed by all of our partners and policy and local governments and applied at the center of all decision and policy making to create communities, businesses, healthcare systems, schools, and organizations of compassion. The Charter for Compassion organization hosts this thriving global network of more than 430 cities, communities of compassion, more than 2,000 partners organized in 12 sectors throughout 64 countries. The Women and Girls sector is number 12, and our vision is to elevate the work of our partners and our community to improve conditions for women and girls through the lens of compassion. And Anu Agarwal has been working with compassion for many, many years. And one of her statements is about how is it that we care for ourselves while we care for others. And you might see that direct quote on our charter page, which you've maybe launched from in order to get onto this call. So Anu, if you'd like to say hello to everyone here, love to hear you.
Hello, everyone, and I am just so honored to be here, Brenda. Thank you so much, and thank you to Charter for Compassion. I am absolutely delighted to be here this morning, evening for some people, on the International Yoga Day 2019. Thank you.
Thank you. So when Anu and I were talking about having this call, she brought up the topic and had a brief description that I'll just share: rediscovering the natural holistic therapy and charge positive neurotransmitters in your brain for health and happiness through yogic compassion to find union with your beginning. And so from what I understand, yoga really saved your life, correct, Anu?
Yes.
Yes. So would you like to tell us a little bit about how yoga really came in and saved you from an accident that you had several years ago?
So here, yeah, definitely, definitely I would. And the first thing that I want to say is that my first yoga guru is my mother, and I really do want to honor her here. And when I was 5, she was actually teaching yoga at the time. And so, yeah, so there was a beginning, but you know how it is. I was going to a Catholic convent school, and yoga is not something we were looking at. India was not very, the world wasn't very open to yoga at the time. So I kind of like, you know, I played basketball and I did everything else, but do yoga. And as luck would have it, many years later, when I had was at the top of my, you know, the top of the nation, yeah. So when I was at the top of my movie career, the supermodel and all of that stuff, that I actually got to be completely dissatisfied and unhappy. And that is the time where my mother, again, came and gave me this book. And she said, why don't you read it? And in 2006, in 1995, and it was on yoga. So again, sort of rekindle my childhood thing with recent, like, yeah, I think I want to just check this out. It's something different. I've seen the world, I've seen super success, I've seen all of it, and it doesn't make me happy. So what is it that can? And what is it that, and then I read somewhere that yoga actually increases and uses your maximum potential. And I was like, really? So am I not using my maximum potential as a superwoman, as a film star, everything? And no, I'm not, because I'm not happy and I'm not content. And there's something more. And when I went to this university, like in India, there was this international university, yoga, like Egypt. And I still remember that the first day that I walked in there and I saw everyone, there were monks, ladies from all over the world who were monks, tall women, bald headed, like head shaped, and wearing these kind of robes. And I sort of thought, hey, listen, isn't this playing another role? Like you do in movies, you just wear a different dress, and you wear a different costume, and you do your hair a different way, and you act that way to become another role. So it will take me some time then to realize that there is a deeper meaning and there is a deeper understanding of oneself that comes with renunciation, giving up. And when you say giving up, it's really just letting go, which compassion meditation has. It's just letting go.
Right,
Just
right.
yourself, yeah.
Yes, yes. Letting go of that.
Yeah,
I am the doer, right?
yeah, and I'll ask you a question about the near-death experiences I had. So I was doing all this study, and suddenly in the middle of all this, I had my fatal near-death experience, where I lost like every bone in my body, and a skull fracture and whatnot. You name it, and I had it. But I came back. I left the room that evening. And then I was brought back after 4 months to the hospital. 2 months later, I didn't know it was my house. So this is a complete washout. It was a complete sort of breakdown. But that is where my real yoga started. And I'm going to tell you about that.
Right. Really brought you to finding basically a restart.
Yeah.
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 And so after going through that, then how did you feel inspired to help others? Because, some people would go through that and they would then, go on with life and not take a position where they start a foundation, really step in the work that you're doing now to, bring together children in schooling and teachers. You have a plan through your foundation, to teach at least 200 teachers in the beginning, the Anyu Fund. And could you tell us a little bit about Anyu Fund and what your desire is with that and how far that's going for you, how that's working out?
So yeah, definitely. And what to begin with, when you said that after losing, and that's a very important point you put in there, because yes, not everyone after they lose and after this has been through such a huge negative, traumatic, like I was suffering PTSD, I had like cognitive loss, and so on. So not a lot of stuff. What happened to me is, I think people who don't get positive are people who haven't been pushed all the way down deep inside. Because like what happened to me, when the body was broken, all that was left was the deep core, the essential core, which is within each human being. And that essential core, I realized later, is what we call God or superhuman or the super force. It's actually, that's what we start as. So the interesting thing is that, when children are born, did you know that the child's brain at the time of birth, research has shown, is full of 100 million stars. So we play our stars. It comes from the supernet. And then as we go on and as we grow up in life, the supernet starts to get depleted and start to lessen. And we start to create a conditioning that I am this, I'm this, I have this much, I'm this family, I'm this my name. So when I lost my name, I lost even a gender orientation. I did not understand what difference between two beings was sexually or gender-wise. It took me a long time, many years to understand that. So that's how deep I had gone when I was just a part of the super self. And that's where I realized that at that level, we are hardwired for compassion.
Yes.
Each cell, you know that each cell shares its food with another cell that has lesser food and is happy to die, but sustain another cell's life. This is our basic nature. This is who each one of us is, no matter which part of the world we are in.
Right.
And this is the consciousness, this is the super consciousness that after my body being crashed, I was actually living outside the body at the time and looking at it from the outside and saying, oh, who is that? What is that? And at that time, I was still blessed. So all the traditions, yoga, and the key thing, even being a monk, it talks about leaving the body, leaving the name. So that's why your head is shaved or not shaved. You get another dress to wear. You get another name, a spiritual name. You start to live as basically simple as possible.
Right.
So all of those things that are happening to me through my near-death experience. So it was, I couldn't see anything else but work for others. When I came out, that's the only thing I knew. Like, what are you going to do? I'm going to do a movie. No, I don't have the time for that. What are you going to do? I want to work with the people. That's it. So that's how I got started.
Lovely. It's lovely to tap into that potential to know it in the way that you dropped, I call it dropping in and back into who you are, into that seed consciousness, and it's within every single cell. And when we find that center and we go from there, truly heart to heart, the trillions of cells, every single heart, the center of it, and connect with another. And that's that compassion. I was seeing the difference between compassion and passion. Compassion really is about dropping in and being able to feel into what that feels like to be in a position, even though I've maybe never experienced that same thing, yet I can feel from the inside another person's pain. And then be able to come from that center out and then share that love, pure prana, pure unconditional love. And that's what I was feeling that inspired you. That makes sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're so right. You're so right on that. And you know, there is a very interesting Zen saying, which I must at this point. He says that once you have realized, then you know the only thing to do is to let others realize. And I think that that's so apt, you know, that is so apt. And I see that even people who have achieved a lot, they always have this longing for something more. And a lot of the times people do not realize that more is just to know their true self. So they can just love everyone else.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So your action, your compassion in action, which is exactly, you know, a term that we use as well, is taking that step by step and utilizing who you are from the inside to connect with people that you that are attracted to you. That's one thing, is that you just magnetically attract people. And it sounds like that was something that was very natural for you from the very beginning. And you could tell that maybe that attraction wasn't from the inside of another to the inside of you. It was maybe from the outside to the outside. And so when I saw some of the pictures of you with children and the joy, and I really want to know more about what you're doing with your inspiration to have people step in and learn how to do this as teachers with the children, because I had a school for 18 years and worked with children to help them be free, and meaning stay free, because we're born that way. And how do you tap into your innate curiosity and stay curious? And that's what I feel, that's what you're doing. And you have the ability, because of your magnetic attraction and the intellect that you have, to inspire people on a global level. Because I read your plans, you know, and all that you have in order of what you'd like to do, and it's very inspirational. Your mission statement, also, people at the center of decision making, strong alliances and links to the community. And so that's that centering and really having people be the leader. And that's what we at the Women and Girls especially are doing with circle work, is to work from that center. So could you share more about how that's going?
Yes, you know, definitely. And, you know, I would like to take you a little bit back in my life here, which is when, before I even became a supermodel, I was a social worker. So I studied social work, a master's in social work. And when I was doing that, I wasn't in my education. So this was always, even as a child, my dream was to work with the people. And I was even a little younger, and I was asked, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I say, I want to make people happy.
I love it.
And I was like just the happiest kid. I was like a hugger in the family. I would talk to everyone so they could speak that I'm 3 years old. So just to show my love to everyone, I was going to talk to everybody, male, female, small, big, small, everyone, cat, dog, everything. So this was something that I think that this is what I'm born for. This is what I've always wanted to do, be done. And I must say that also when I was in my teens and growing up, and people tell me, say, "Hey, listen, you should play in the Miss Universe contest, and you should run." And I was like, "What? I'm not going to walk on stage for some people to judge if I'm the prettiest woman. Are you crazy? Every woman is pretty. Each woman is pretty. Who are you to decide that one, because a woman looks a certain way, is a certain size, is a certain shape, she's pretty? That's rubbish. So I'm not going to do it. This is like slight age of feminism, but also 16. But also on the same time, I want to work for the people. My time is for the people. And so this is my start. And accidentally, I become like India's first for a supermodel, and started to do the great thing when I started to travel the world and I started to see a lot of things and became an independent girl, a woman, just turning a woman, which was another dream I had, but I just wanted to be independent. And 25 years, 30 years ago, India, it was something unthought of. It was unaccessible. What do you mean? What do you mean you want to be alone? What do you mean you want to be independent? What gives you the right? And I said, I give myself the right. And I'm going to do it. So as luck would have it, things work, and I do, again, I always feel grateful, and I've always said that who am I unless I was protected and guided by a bigger force, which actually runs, I realized, 2 times on compassion. The more you have it, the more that super force is looking after you. Because you're doing what that super force has brought you here to do, and it helps you as you're doing it. So all the forces in the world start opening up when your heart is pure and when you want other people, when you have forgiveness, when you have empathy. It's just amazing how it works. And my life is a story of miracles in that. So that, having said that, in the movie, it was just, I was given so much. So my heart was just like, just bursting with, oh my God, I want to give this to society because I've got so much. And that's when I went to yoga and started learning, growing, wanting to get the knowledge of human awakening, to understand where we are coming from, where did we start, what is the beginning.
Right.
And I hope that once I know that, it would give me a clearer idea of where everyone's going. Because I see everyone's feeling. Where are you going?
Right.
So around that time, so I went and studied yoga, and I have the Near Paper. This almost like that was it just like pushed me to come back, go back to the center, know where I was, where I come from, as a child, what I wanted. What am I here on this earth for? And it just became so clear that it's just to work for the people. And having been a social worker in India, I had worked in the slums. I had worked for women empowerment, with huge projects I worked for. I worked with the United Nations for Afghan refugees and their repatriation in India. And the first time I started non-formal education for them. So non-formal education is something that I also got later as when I took masters, in Indian masters at Nanyang. That's they call it a non-formal education. Because what you're learning is the happening of the mind, the working of the mind. How does it work? So, having studied that, I said, okay, now I'm back in the society, now I'm back in the city, and I saw this bunch of slum children. And they were like a living dead. You know, they were so, they were depressed and they were not only just, you know, of course, they don't have hygiene and they don't have this and they don't have that, but these children were seriously unhappy, seriously depressed, seriously low energy, seriously thinking that they were no good. And I sat back and said, oh my God, this is what I have to stop. I have to, because I know there is a way out. I know it. Because having been a social worker, I know how where they're coming from, what their background is, and I know the social and economic structure and everything, and how to go and how what to do and how to do it, that I know. But not having been through yoga and the depth of yoga and being through the Vedas and understanding the nature of the mind, the duality that in each thing, and how the unity can be achieved, which is what yoga is, the union of the self, the super self, where one is completely in with one with nature. With the external is the same, the micro and the macro. So I just started and I made a program called, which would be going to be called on fun, because it is wanted them to have, to join, to lighten them, to raise their happiness bar, to, you know, and so I made a program through all the studies and everything, and all my experiences and all my experiential knowledge that I have, through healing myself, single-handedly, the doctors had given up on me when I had regret. So I made this module for fun yoga, and it would be called unfun yoga later on, and we started to research. The results were brilliant, and that was just edged in the 2013, and 2013, beginning 2014. And I said, okay, I want to work with low-income groups, because India has so much of it. And I said that these are the most ignored laws. And this is the law that is on the top of my list. This is what I want to really work on. And so I started, and we started reprogramming the mind positively. There are two systems for yoga and meditation. There's certain, they're all certain art. This is evoking the joy, the confidence. That confidence is a huge thing in these. And having these two feelings in myself, trauma loves in these people all the time. At every edge. The life is traumatic to begin with, because they don't have the basic necessities that you have. That's where I came with the idea of, you know, saying that let's see the slumdog millionaire become the fun dog millionaire. And yeah, so then, yeah, the research went on, and yeah, so we are going, and then of course I started de-stressing the corporate, because that is another field altogether, which really needs a lot of care as well. The mental hygiene, the mental health problems that the corporates are going through. So that's how we are growing and evolving programs and projects. And yeah, I don't want to give you numbers just like, you know, like a shot and a flash and say, wow, now this is the number, like we reached like 30,000 or better reach a million. I don't want to get into that, because I think it's a little bit of an ego show sometimes. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But yes, so we are doing a lot of hard work. It's beautiful. It's just, you know, to make us happy, there is no bigger happiness than that. So, yeah.
So have you been getting support from some of the schools there to implement?
Yes. I mean, it's amazing how much support is coming of people. And also because they are, they think I'm just like this strange cookie completely. But what is she doing? She should be enrolling you. She should be acting. She's like sitting in slumber teaching structure. What is she doing? So there's like, a lot of like, but it's okay, I'm used to browse these ways, I think I can share with them. I just been meaning and done a lot of things which burns the doing of the society at the time. So yes, but on the other hand, there are a lot of people who are coming and saying, wow, we love what you're doing. And you're such an inspiration, and you're such an inspiration for Bollywood stars.
Wonderful. Yes.
That you're not just an inspiration for normal people to go out and do something, but you're also an inspiration for people who are big achievers and, big influencers. That let's get out and do something. I'm like, yeah, great, and it's fantastic. Yeah, it just makes me, it pushes me and says, okay, now 1 hour more in your work, 1 hour less in your sleep. Just go on, let's do more. Pushes me to the edge. It's lovely.
Well, I want to invite everyone to go to your website, which is anuagarwalfoundation.org, and we'll post that as well, so you have that connection. And of course, you can Google Anu and find out a lot about her, and so that you can really look in and read all of that you're implementing and all of the things that you're doing. So if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you, what would be the best thing that, let's say a beginner, somebody who wants to start a practice, and a lot of times people don't have time. I don't have time to meditate. I don't, my life is too busy. Women especially, taking care of the family, taking care of, we have this, is called the sandwich generation. We have our next gen. We work in engaging younger women in some of the work that we do. And there's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, as you know, in the world to perform, to get all of those outside credentials and get the performance oriented. And yet people find themselves at the end of that or in the midst of that, and they're just in a pressure cooker. And what do you recommend so that they can allow themselves to find a little bit of peace before they move on in their day or integrate in their day?
I think that the immediate thing, of course, there has to be a beginning somewhere, and there has to be, one has to be out. So one has to start. So first of all, it's important to acknowledge the problem, because I see a lot of corporate who are going through mental problems are not necessarily acknowledging, even self-acknowledging, or even the ones who are self-acknowledging are not talking about it, there's a strange kind of sort of a taboo about, I'm going through a mental problem. And stress is the cure of the century. So, in fact, there is a very interesting thing about, there is a kind of meditation called compassion meditation, which is said that it may reduce the induced subjective distress and immune responses, and it also gets like the positivity, deletes the negativity that's going on in people. Because let's face it, a lot of stress is because of the negativity. The negativity is like, something is not. So the positivity is something that can be evoked in practice. But then for that, somebody has to say, hey, listen, I have a problem. And I am willing to make that 10 minutes a day, every day, or 20 minutes a day, or whatever, or 5 minutes. Let's start small. So, and scheduling a time. So say, let's say, in the morning, I go to office at sort of 7:30, I do this, tea, and I will do this. So I am going to like sit at 6:30, so maybe 6:40. And so you can make it a part of the calendar, your monthly calendar, and start with that. It's essential. Because there is no medicine for it. You cannot go to a drugstore and buy pills.
Right.
Because if you do, all that it does is increase the problem over a period of time. It is not decreasing it.
Right.
Right. So we have to, first of all, create that awareness within ourselves, acknowledge we have a problem. Very important. We find and seek back to ourselves, and maybe go out and seek some help somewhere through a naturopath, through maybe somebody a meditator. Maybe, let's get into some natural ways of healing ourselves. So we have to do that. That's what I would say.
Thank you. And what do you say to the people that say, oh, I sit down and I try to meditate and I just, my mind goes everywhere and I can't do it.
Well, they're right. Because unfortunately, that is the nature of the mind.
Right.
The very interesting thing they have said in the Vedas. They said that it's almost a curse that when a human being is born, from the minute he opens his eyes, he becomes outgoing. And he, over a period of time, as he grows up, starts to forget his beauty and his own very belonging that is inside him. So this is one of the things that when I started the foundation, there is a quote about happiness in, I think it's one of the Upanishads. I think it's Tatya Upanishad, one of the Upanishads. It says that I was born of joy. I live in joy. And it is joy. So the inside of us, the inside of us is already happy. We are just not getting to that. The stress is the external layer that we are getting stuck at.
Right.
So how do we get to this, the inner beauty and the inner calm and the inner silence and the inner bliss, as we call it? We would have to do something to internalize rather than externalize everything. So we need to start internalizing and going within ourselves. And yes.
I often, thank you. And you said even 5 minutes. I think it's really important for people to just 5 minutes and observe their thoughts, because as they start to recognize what the thoughts are, that's the first step in awareness. Because otherwise the body wakes them up in the middle of the night or won't let them go to sleep when they lay down, because that subconscious body just starts percolating all the thoughts that they ignored throughout the day because they were so driven on this and this and this, and most of the time externally driven, right?
Absolutely. You know, and but then the thing is that I think if we were to mentally develop, even if I close my eyes and I say to myself, I'm calm and I'm happy and it doesn't work that it cannot help me. You know why? Because on a mental, above mental level, the external level, a little bit, it can help. Because
Right.
I'm having a thinking positive thought.
Right.
Everything is bad. But the first stop has to be to first completely relax the body. You have to start with relaxing. Because the stress is, you know, there's layers of stress in each and every little molecule of your body.
Right. Yeah.
So what you need to do is you first need to just to de-stress mentally. You just first need to start to de-stress physically. And how do you de-stress physically? You need to start to de-stress physically by, you know, there are techniques to do that.
Right.
So, you know, and so once your body de-stresses, the mind starts to calm a little bit. So now the body, you see the pressure, the tension in the body is all cells in your mind. So once that is relaxing, the mind starts to fall, not like a sleep of sleep, I should say, but starts to fall in a state where it is ready to hear and listen. And which is the time you use meditation.
Right.
So it's all, you know, it has to be done. You know, it's a practice. It's a game. When you play basketball, you play any game, right? You have to go, you have to do this, but you have to wear the dress, you have to wear a costume for the game, right? You have to wear the right shoes. You have to wear the right everything. You have to, you know, and then you get ready. And so it's like a whole practice the same way. You meditate, first you have to like get the basics, get ready at the basic level. And then you go on the guy starts walking the field, and you start to walk in the field. Then the guy goes and like picks a ball, then you go and pick. So and then finally he hits the ball, and that's where your meditation starts. But first of all, you have to everything in life, you know that. Everything in life is and everything needs planning. It all is about planning. So,
And in that, as you're referencing games, you know, we look at games and we know that we have to practice. We know that we have to learn some of the fundamentals. I do recognize that some people that it's challenging for them to go in and they want to perform right away. They want to have it come right now. And sometimes, you know, you get that gift. You sit down in a meditation in the beginning and, you know, it's like you get this surprise, amazing meditation. It's like, you know, this little jewel. And then you go the next time or the next, and it doesn't happen that way at all. And I always think that that's part of the mystery is that you get that and you get that little gift, that package. And then you sit down the next time and the next time and the next time, and it's not happening and your mind is all over. And so I remind people it's a practice. It's like any game. And how do I, as you were talking, how do I uncover, you know, all that I've collected or the pressure that's coming in from the outside and really get down inside there and like dig myself out
yes, yes.
on the surface, really getting to know that inner self.
You know, the trouble is that we think that we are going to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like even meditation is like, oh, I'm ready to do it, right? The trouble it's all about letting go.
It is.
If you let go, you're already in a meditative state.
Yeah, exactly.
What is stopping you from acknowledging that meditative state is your overly populated mind, which is saying, I know. So it's and even, studies have shown that, like we have compassion meditation, for instance, and we have loving kindness meditation. These two meditations they enhance the activation of brain areas that are involved in emotional processing and empathy. So it's also, again, first of all, your mindset and what you're thinking is important. And secondly, the practice you choose is important. So if you choose the right practices, I'm sure you'll have better luck. I'm sure you'll be able to meditate and see the benefits of it. Because, I got hooked. To it. When the first time I meditated, my God, I was like, why am I wasting my time? What do they mean? Close your eyes and sit down? Like, I've got nothing better to do. I've got movies out there that I just left. I have to go shoot them. What the hell? What is this? And slowly and gradually, and came a time when my entire body started to vibrate. I said, wow, what is this?
Yes.
I felt it. I never felt it. And it wasn't like the kind of pleasure you get from any sort of other activity, like sexual activity or the real pleasure. No, it was a very calm pleasure.
Exactly.
And in some way, I could sense that it is a very high dimension of pleasure, which I haven't experienced ever before. So, you can get to that point. I'm sure we can.
Yes, it's that subtle nature that then arises within, and we start to recognize that the physical world, as wonderful as it is, it's actually, well, the word gross, is meaning it's stronger. It's stronger in ways that are physical, but it's actually somewhat clumsy. Rather than the subtle is that wave that you're talking about, where it's that higher level of pleasure. And I think there's a misnomer that goes around about being like out of the body rather than in the body, yet in a higher dimension, consciousness. And that's what we are able to attain through practice by basically clearing away. In the Egyptian teachings, it was called the dross. And, the Buddha talks about it being, removing away all of the dirt so that you get to the gold, that's always inside of you, which you address. And when we do that, what I feel in you that you're doing is that's where you're touching in with that beauty within another, because you know it. Because when you went through, especially the surrender that your accident required of you, you really got to observe everything, right? And you were forced to receive. And that's another thing that women specifically, we recognize have a challenge in doing. Women give, and often go into overwhelm rather than overflow. And the yogic teachings and why Namrata was inspired to have us, bring you on board and some other yoga practices through Women and Girls is because that giving can come from the overflow when we engage with that heart of compassion inside. And that loving kindness that you just spoke about. And before we started this call, we talked about you leading us in a practice. And I'm wondering, would it be a good time, you think, to do that? Because we've really talked about this. And the experience, of course, is the best. And if we have any newcomers, what I recommend, you mentioned when you first started meditating, one of the things when I first started meditating, I was amazed how many thoughts my brain was thinking, because I got to sit and I kind of went, wow. And it was like I was in a theater observing, what was happening on an auditory level. And I was like, whoa, it really amazed me. And then I was able to start recognizing that maybe that's not mine, and that's not serving me. And there's a saying I'm sure you're familiar with in India, neti, 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 not this, not that, not this, not that. Just kind of cleaning out, like weeding the garden, weeding our mind, weeding the body to rid it of that pressure that you were talking about, that intensity, that stress, so that we get down to, that beauty of joy that often is covered up by all the pressure in the world and the details, the complication, the chaos.
Yes, absolutely. Again, the whole externalization, we are just so caught up in the chaos of the world, and we're just missing out on, on who we really are, and who we really are is beauty, and peace, and passion, and kindness, and empathy. So you're so right on that. We are, but I think that this is a great time, because I feel there's, as it's also predicted, that there is, as there is increase in negative energies, there's an equal, maybe not an equal, but there's a pretty large number of positive energies that are coming on this earth, and I do feel that. I feel that there's also, sort of a paradigm shift that is happening, and it really depends on us what we want to focus on.
Yeah.
Where do I want to take my mind? Do I want to keep on thinking of the negativity, like there's in the news,
Right.
Am I going to get into that, like into the political politics, into the,
right.
doctors, into the crimes, into deceit, into, sorrow, or am I going to find, because there are also other things happening that are positive. That's all I think is positive. Once I'm positive, everything around me starts to be acceptable. It's okay. It's fine. This guy is cheating on me, right? But yeah, I guess that's just come on it, and I just leave him to it.
Yeah.
And that thing happens in meditation, where you can just let go and say, okay, that's fine, without going like, ooh, That's okay, it's fine, but it is, and it's amazing, because the team, they just take their own course in their own time. Everything is resolved or solved, or, you may just move out, or he may just move out, or, there's a natural progression.
Yes, there is.
So, but the thing is that we must stop that by going like, it's not, My battery is down and it's going to shut any time, any minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the charger.
Okay.
And I'm going to start recharging it. Should I get it right now? So there's 1% left right now.
Yes. And then
Yeah.
maybe we could do that meditation.
Yeah. It's going to shut.
Wonderful. So as soon as Anu comes back, we will move into a experiential meditation and then wrap up our time together.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Yeah,
That's
I'm back. Hi.
Hello.
I'm back.
Okay. So would you mind?
This is like a charger. How, how desperately you need a charger. It's like, how about your mind? You need a charge. You need to charge your mind too.
Yes. Right.
That's what meditation does. It's like it recharges the battery of your mind.
Right. You did a TED Talk on Patanjali's 8 stages, and I recommend people could Google you on that and kind of walk through that if they're unfamiliar. And one of the stages there is, pranayama. And I've been teaching students how to really tap into the prana and recharge. And, that's what we're doing when we drop into the meditation, is accessing that purity and that pure power. And so if you would lead us in a meditation right now, that would be lovely. And you were mentioning doing something on compassion or loving kindness, whichever you would like. I invite you to do so. And when you were away for a moment, I was letting the viewers know that we'll do that, and then we'll wrap up the call, and then they can access more of you online, and also visit our Women and Girls page through the charter, and also Facebook. And Anu, are you on Facebook as well?
Yes, I am.
Okay, wonderful. Great.
So, definitely, we can do a short meditation.
That'd be lovely.
And what I was saying is that what we're going to show on the screen, if people are going to close their eyes, they're not going to be able to see us. If they really do it, that is.
The way things got set up, I'm not being able to share, I don't think. Yeah. I don't think I can share a screen. Let me see. No. Let me see. See if I can. What do you see here?
Okay, great.
So do you see your photograph up there at this point?
I do.
You do? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. This is perfect.
Okay, wonderful. So would you like to lead us? Would you like to lead us? Perfect.
I would definitely like to do that. Can you hear, am I loud enough? Because my computer is a little far away from me now. I'm sitting. Yeah? Can you hear me?
A little bit. I was hearing a little echo, so
Now?
yes,
Yeah?
yes.
Okay. So what I would really like for people who are going to be a part of this meditation is to, first of all, just see that they're not wearing anything very tight on their body. Like if you're wearing a tight belt, loosen it. If you're wearing glasses, take them off. And just feel that your body is not responding to any pressure on it right now. See that you are sitting in some comfortable position. You could be sitting on a chair or on a sofa or in an asana on the floor. You could even be standing, so sitting is preferred. So people who are moving around, it'll help to sit down in a place. What would also help is if you dim the lights a little bit. Close your eyes. Breathe normally. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the focus on your breath. If your feet are down on the floor, feel the touch of the foot on the floor. Please stand you're sitting in a straight line, your body without any tension. You can keep your hands on your thigh or on your knees. And take your attention down to the center between your two eyebrows. This is your focus center of the third eye. And now, if you will, just take your attention, pull it down to the tip of your nose. Simply observe the breath going in and the breath coming out. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale by pushing the breath very gently out. You could do it 3 times. Inhale deeply. Feel the breath touching your heart center in your stomach. And see that the stomach has movement, contraction, and expansion along with the breath. Bring the attention inside your mind and what is the thought that you're having right now? Do not judge it. Do not try to abandon it. Just simply watch. There could be a myriad of thoughts. And just watch the myriad of thoughts. And say to yourself, this is me. I am joy. I am love. I am belonging. I am the carer. I have the strength of the lion. I love and care for myself. As you have done this self-compassion, you are now going to spread this compassion to the world around you. As you externalize your thoughts to your room, to everyone, think of everyone who is sitting in the room. And say to yourself, say to them quietly, may you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. Now your attention is expanding. Now your attention is outside the room, on the road, in your city. And you're saying to everyone, may you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. Your thought is in each and every little stream, the air that is around, and it will gently and clearly moving forward and expanding. From your city, you go to your country. Same thought. From the country, you go expanding to the world. With each animal and inanimate being in the world, you are spreading joy. You are spreading love. You are spreading compassion to the entire globe. around you. As you nurture others, you are being nurtured alongside. You thank the creation. You are full of life and joy inside you. Pay more attention to your heart. Feel a golden light there, full of light, human, golden. Light spreads. It expands of your throat, of your face, to your head. Full golden light. Down from the heart, the golden light spreads down your shoulder and your whole arms to filled with golden light. Pull down from the heart again to your waist, to your hips, golden light. Pushing down your thighs, your knees, and your calves, down to your ankles, to your toes. Your entire body is filled with luminous golden light. Remember, and say to yourself, I am light. And this is what I take to the world when I go out. Slowly, remember the room you're sitting in. Remember the place you're sitting in. And without opening your eyes, think of what goes around you when you sat. The people, the objects, anything you can remember. The sound outside. Keep breathing. Keep your body relaxed. See how much more relaxed it is in the time to the end. And very slowly move your toes a little bit and your fingers a little bit. In, out, expand, gap your lips and your hands. Move your head from left to right. You're getting ready to wake up from a deep, beautiful and positive slumber of compassion. May you be happy, be peaceful, free from any slowly open your eyes by looking down on the floor. Remember, you're coming out from death. It will take time to readjust yourself. So don't hurry or rush in anything. Hurry on. That's that.
Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you very much. Pardon? Thank you very much. That was very nice.
Lovely. I'm so glad, and I hope we can episode. I want to put it out on my website as well so people can just come and take it. You know, I want this to be available.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Brenda. It was absolutely a pleasure talking to you. And I really do hope that in the coming time, we can engage together with Charter for Compassion and make this world a better place and a more beautiful place to live in.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have been introduced to you. It was really nice that Namrata had the experience. She's our lead in India, and she's right there in Mumbai because you were able to have lunch together, which was so kind of you to meet with her. And she's recently really been inspired by yoga and mentioned it to a friend, and then the friend mentioned you, and that's the way it flows when we're really open and having that magnetism. And
Yeah.
So and then here we get to meet you in the States and wherever else people have now met you. And thank you for all that you did to Ignite World Yoga Day. And I hope that we all engage in something yoga on Friday, which I don't know if this is going to release on Friday or before, but I will let you know, and then you'll be able to access it. And just in ending, I again invite you to visit Anu's website, Anu Agarwal. I said that so well before. AnuAgarwal.com. And then just in closing, the Charter for Compassion is grateful for you and all those who are aware of their capacity for compassionate action. And we believe it is the solutions to our world's problems. We are a volunteer-run organization, and we depend on shared resources to continue to do our work. So please consider visiting www.charterforcompassion.org and make a donation of your resources or time. And in the women and girls sector, we have women from all over the world representing as ambassadors. And we meet online weekly and at many different times to collaborate with each other. So Anu, thank you so very much for collaborating with us today, and look forward to being able to expand through us the gifts that you're giving.
Thank you. Thank you, Brenda.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I look forward to a chat again.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, and everyone for joining us. Have a really wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.